bar, then we replaced it with podcast. That's how we came up with our name. It's Podcast Rescue, Podcast Rescue, Podcast Rescue, Podcast Rescue. Yeah, jack off on Chatterbait. Yeah. We're here, episode number 3 of Podcast Rescue.
That's right.
Shout out to everyone on Chatterbait. Shout out to our audience. So this episode we're going to talk to from metalcore band Every Time I Die, Keith Buckley at Death of the Party. He is touring right now with his band, correct?
That's correct, yes.
And he is taking it upon himself. I've not met the man before.
Yeah, this was last week, I think, or last weekend.
I already love him. I just heard a little crackle on there too, by the way, Gavin. So I don't know what you're doing on your phone, but I just heard a crackle coming out of here, so I'm not sure. Has taken upon himself to go to some bars that have actually been featured.
He tweeted at me and said, "Hey, we're in Iowa. We're like 45 minutes away from the O-Face bar."
And we all know the O-Face bar, ladies and gentlemen. The legendary O-Face bar.
If they don't know it.
This is my favorite episode ever.
Well, it's the first episode that Taffer ever walked away from a rescue. And he's done that a couple times since then.
Since he's kind of made it, now he's kind of like,
it's a little old at this point.
He's like, fuck this place, I'm taking off. He does it all the time now. But at this point, he would save every single, and this one he just couldn't do it because they were so abhorrent. And some of the clips, some of the stuff is so amazing. I think we might have even talked about it on the first episode, but it's amazing. He tells one of his fellow...
Well, it's the bouncer.
The bouncer. He says to the bouncer, to another employee, he says, you throw him through a plate glass window. And he says...
And I'll give you a $10 per hour raise.
He doesn't want to do it.
Not like a flat fee.
He says, do it and I'll give you a $10 an hour raise. And Taffer livid. As we said, probably because of his bad business decision as well.
Well, that's just throwing money.
Too much money to spend on a bouncer. But this guy was so
crazy.
And
he also hit one of his employees,
slapped the guy, and it was all about his wife. It was all about defending his wife and defending the honor of his wife.
Yeah.
And making sure that no one disrespected his wife. But he was a true legend. My favorite ever. Wore an Affliction shirt, spiky hair.
And then after the episode...
Well, do we want to? I mean, we talked about it, I guess. But yes, he was arrested and charged with rape.
Yeah, so he turned... I mean, so Taffer is a good judge of character.
And that's crazy, because Taffer walked out and said, I'm leaving, and I'm not going to save you. I'm not going to be associated with you.
Just in case something would happen.
But the crazy thing is, the rape... Alleged. I don't know if he's been...
No, I think he's in jail.
I don't know if he's convicted, so I don't want to speak out of... But this happened after Taffer made that decision.
Yeah.
So Taffer just had the intuition, or maybe he saw him be inappropriate or something, and he just thought, I don't want to be associated with this.
Well, he doesn't want it to be like, oh, a bar that John Taffer rescued.
Exactly.
The owner committed this heinous crime. I mean, instead, it's a bar that John Taffer walked away from.
Yes.
Which is a lot better.
Exactly. He's thinking about the headlines. He's a marketing genius.
Yeah. Should we play the drop? We haven't played the drop.
Yes, we have a drop. A new drop. Very good DJ drop that Stefan got.
You're listening to Podcast Rescue, the only bar rescue podcast, hosted exclusively on
Chatterbait.com.
Fantastic. And we'll tell this story.
I paid for one, like a custom one, from
$1,600.
$1,600. The Wig Man is the name of the
Wig Man,
the producer, the DJ, the voiceover artist.
Well, maybe we shouldn't say it was $1,600. Maybe then that's inappropriate to make it seem like he charges that amount. If he's a real human being.
It was $800.
$850.
American. And that was for Rush. That was for like the next day.
But to be honest with you, and then taxes and shipping, $1,600. We were right.
Yeah, no.
We were right.
Was about Canadian. I think it was about $1,550 Canadian. Round up.
$1,650, I think it was. I think I read it. It was $1,650.
So he made one for when we were on Live Jasmine.
Yes.
And you all know...
you're not going to pay $3,300
for a second drop.
Okay, now he's doing this.
He's got the tense music.
See, I told him, hey, play the tense music when it feels tense, but I don't know why he feels like
well,
this
I think it's because we're talking about Live Jasmine. This to me is the Live Jasmine music.
He hates Live Jasmine, and this is his way of
expressing.
That's cool. I should definitely probably let my neighbors know at some point what's going on.
Are they home right now? Oh, I heard someone stepping around.
Oh, I mean, they're definitely up there.
Do they have kids?
No, they do next door.
Oh,
but
okay.
But I just want to let them know that this is sort of a goofy thing, and we're not doing a sex sort of
we haven't.
dungeon.
I mean, so we didn't have. There's no sex noise or anything.
But that's true. But there's a lot of discussion about.
And do you think they can hear that? Like,
yes. So anyways, this bar, O-Face.
It was a shithole though. Like
Shithole bar.
It's in the middle of Iowa.
And they went back to it. So there's been 2
Yeah.
episodes. They went back to the bar and they saw him again. But Keith, this gentleman we're about to talk to, he went to the O-Face
Yeah, and
bar.
he was like in a hotel like 45 minutes away, and
Yes.
then realized that the O-Face was nearby, and on like a Tuesday night or something, or
Yeah.
Monday night, was like, we're going to the O-Face.
Yeah, I saw the tweet that he sent to
Yeah.
Stefan. It was like, hey, last calls in 25 minutes, and I'm heading there right now. Like, he was so dead
Got some
serious
pictures.
about it.
And,
He got
now
photos.
he's going to come on the show and talk
So
about
now
it.
he's going to talk about it, and I don't think he knows about the second part, like what happened after with the O-Face owner. So I'm not
He
sure.
might. I mean, I don't know. They probably don't have like signs.
Because he
at the bar
spoke to
about
the
it.
wife.
Yeah, I don't think she doesn't like bring that up. I would
She
imagine.
doesn't say, oh, by the way, my husband did. Anyways, okay. So, we're almost at 5:30, so
Yeah.
we could give him a call, I suppose, if
We're just gonna full screen him, turn him to you guys.
There we go.
All right.
All right, and I'm not gonna get fired for this, right?
No,
Nah,
you're doing a great
good.
job.
You're doing a great job,
You're
Gavin.
killing it.
I suppose we're just auditioning a new producer, and he's so this one first producer is a little bit nervous. Yeah,
Fire him.
So Keith is saying you're gone, and
Right off
Todd.
the bat.
See,
Sorry, bud.
we just had Todd Glass on, and he was a big fan of Gavin's. He said keep him around, so that is 1-1 now. We're gonna have to think about this. I'm all for firing him. I hired him originally, and then I brought in the new guy, and I passed him along to Stefan.
I'm enjoying his work, but if you think
Yeah, I think you should go.
I mean, Keith doesn't even really know me.
Well, he pretty much knows, I guess, all he needs to know.
Yeah.
Are you in Ottawa? Did you say?
Yeah, I'm in Ottawa.
Like Canada?
Yeah,
Well,
Nice.
that's cool. Hey, we're in Canada. That's cool. That's neat.
I know. Look at Labatt Blue Light.
it's got hockey players on it too.
Oh, look at that. We're drinking. We got some audience members over here that are drinking Molson Canadian.
Oh, Molson, eh?
So you hit up a bar, a very
pretty
famous,
infamous bar.
I mean, infamous. One of my it's my favorite episode ever of the show.
It's an all-timer. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hands down, best episode of Bar Rescue.
Yes, and so when you realized that you were in the town, like how quickly did you see the tour date and know, hey, I'm going for it, or when did it occur to you?
No, this was totally spontaneous. So we played Omaha, Nebraska on a Sunday night, and we were driving to Lawrence, Kansas. So we got a little bit out of Omaha and stopped at a hotel. And when we realized that it was in Council Bluffs, like all the alarms went off. We're like, this is the home of O-Face, which is the greatest, like we said,
Yeah.
the greatest episode of Bar Rescue. So it was a Sunday night. It was like 12:30, and I think that's when I drunkenly tweeted that we were at Stefan that we were going to head over there.
Yeah.
So we looked them up online, and the first listing we found said closed on weekends. And it was like I said, this was a Sunday, and we're like, oh shit. But we weren't going to stop there. So we tried a number that we found, and this one said closed permanently.
Yeah.
And like, normally people would be like, okay, well, I guess we're shit out of luck. That's a wrap. But we're like, no. We're going to make this happen.
Yeah.
We found a third number for O-Face, and we called it and went directly to the bartender. So it might have actually been her cell phone number. And it was open. And, I mean, do you want me to just tell the story? Or So they were open until like 1:30, I think they said, or till 1, or just like, they started kicking everybody out at 1:30. But so we call an Uber, and while we're waiting for the Uber in the hotel lobby, the dude at the desk, he's like, "Where you guys going so late?" We're like, "Oh, we're going to O-Face." And he's like, "Why?" Like, nobody wants to acknowledge that that really happened. I think they really feel like it's like a boil in their town. So he's like, "No, nobody goes there. Nobody goes there." And we're like, "Well, we're obviously really excited about it, so you're not gonna piss on our parade." So the guy shows up in an Uber, and we're like we're going to Disneyland for the first time. We're screaming, we're like high-fiving, we're so excited, and the dude just doesn't get it. So we start driving, and we're like driving through this. It was like an industrial park sort of thing, and there's tons of power lines over all the houses, and we're like, this is absolutely why this place is where it is. So we eventually get there, and it's kind of in this remote part. You could actually kind of see it in the episode, like a train goes by, I think at one point, maybe in the background. It's like creepy.
It's in the suburbs almost, right? Like.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be. I mean, like not that it shouldn't be in the suburbs. The suburbs shouldn't be around it because there are definitely houses like across the street. But like I said, there's power lines and shit all over the place, and there was like train tracks and stuff. And so we pull up, and dude, I mean, it was like he was our Sherpa, like to a remote like temple on a mountain. You know what I mean? Like we're all these winding roads. We finally get there, and we're just in awe. We just see the sign, and it's lit up, and we just like we are in complete awe of the fact that we made it there. So we get out, and it's like lightly snowing, you know, and it's like that kind of. That only when it snows kind of quiet, you know, it's like more silent than silent, and we're just like standing underneath the sign. We finally made it, and so then we just run in, and I mean, like I said, it was like Disney World for us. We were ecstatic, and nobody understood our enthusiasm.
How many people were in the bar?
There were 4 people and 2 employees, 2 DJs, and then 3. I think like 3. Like a dude playing pool against his buddy, and then one guy sitting over the side. But like this is, you know, it's a place where people go to just kind of patiently await death. I don't think that they really get a lot of people in there really excited to see it. So I felt like we were really out of place because we were all excited and you know, like I said, screaming and asking to like see the things that we saw in the episode, and they just the lady was super accommodating, and she let me ring that bell that Karen rings. And right? But man, like everything in it is like informed by the owner's sexual psychosis. It's just like everything is disgusting. The instead of guys, it says dicks on the bathroom door, and I think the women said like dickless. You know what I mean? It's just like it's really creepy. And one of my favorite part was the maximum capacity sign that they had over by the DJ booth said 69, and it was signed by the fire department. I'm like, what? I'm like, is this just like the happiest coincidence that you've ever had? And she's like, oh no, we got a friend on the fire department. They made that for us. So who knows what the maximum capacity is or what's actually illegal to have in there, but it says 69.
They use their connections to get a custom-made maximum capacity sign for a really crude high school joke.
Oh, that's the thing is, like, I was thinking about it. The theme of the bar is a pun from Office Space. Like, I mean, I think that's like the first time I ever heard Office Space, you know? So to build this entire thing around that one sexual pun is, I mean, it's depraved and it's childish, but it's fucking hysterical.
But the guy
it's impressive.
I mean, the guy is one of the craziest guys. I mean, that we were just talking about the scene where he tells the bouncer to like throw him through a plate glass window. He'll give him $10 an hour raise. He slaps the guy in the face. And I don't know. Do you know what happened afterwards, or are we gonna tell you?
I don't know what happened afterwards, but I went back obviously like right after and watched the episode again, and one of my favorite parts is when he comes out the first night when Taffer has to break up the fight in the parking lot, and he comes out like white knighting it, like, you can't talk to my wife like that, and he's crying. Smash cut to February 6th of 2016 when he's arrested for sexual assault in the bar while his wife's out of town.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, so you do know. That's what we weren't sure about. That's one of our, like, I mean, that's one of the craziest things. And it's crazy that Taffer seemed to have intuition, because he said, I can't be, like, I won't want to rescue this because I don't want to be associated with you. And that was before anything ever happened. So he must have seen something.
Taffer's got that sixth sense. I mean, that's why he's in the fucking Bar Hall of Fame. He's one of how many people in the Bar Hall of Fame? Like 6 people.
Wait a second. What?
There's a bar and nightclub Hall of Fame that I think, I'm not lying, has under 10 members.
Yeah, that is it's Taffer and it's everyone from Cheers.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, do we have any questions? We're on Chaturbate.com right now, live streaming on Chaturbate, which is a webcam porno site.
Yeah.
We were banned from Live Jasmine.
Gavin has a great
question, but I do. Before that, I'm looking at the official nightclub and bar Hall of Fame, and interesting. The recent inductees side by side each other. Beside John Taffer's photograph is Miami crunk rapper Lil Jon.
Lil Jon.
So he is amongst greatness.
That is amazing. So you're telling me that Lil Jon was recently inducted into the bar?
Lil Jon and John Taffer.
That's actually
Little John Tapper.
Lil Jon Taffer. Somebody make a Lil Jon Taffer thing. You know, it's not that hard. Just do it. You know.
I keep remembering like crazy stuff that happened too. So we ordered the orgasms, and obviously they don't tell you what's in them. And I don't want to ruin. It's like I saw her make it, so I know the fucking clandestine secret that is the ingredients list of the orgasm. But it's so she poured them for us, and we're chatting with her about the owner, and she's like, "Oh, wave hello to her." And there's just a fucking camera there. And then we're like, hi. And then all of a sudden, our band Facebook gets a private message from the owner, Karen.
From the wife?
And she sits around and just watches the bar all the time. And it's really creepy. But everything in there.
So she literally watched you from an eye in the sky and then saw that you were there and then sent a Facebook message.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
some
great.
NSA shit.
So what did what did she want? Like she just wanted you to.
Oh, this gets good. So what she wants us to do is next time we play Omaha, to plan an after party at O-Face that they can promote.
You've got to do that.
Oh, absolutely. We will route an entire tour around that after party. So wait, I have a question for you too, because this is something that was kind of befuddled me when I was in the bar. They have a food menu there, as you saw in the episode where they make the little pizza, the bagel bite pizza thing.
Yes.
So their menu had a list of items, and it was like jalapeno poppers, like $4. Pizza didn't have a price, so I'm assuming that meant they were out of pizza. And then it had like a corn dog, $2. A Rice Krispie treat, $2.50, and then a cup of soup, $1. And yeah, so like I'm a bit of a broth boy. I love soup, so I'm like, what kind of soup is it for $1? And she's like, it's the kind with like the noodles and the flavor packet. And I'm like, that's ramen. Yeah, soup. And I'm like,
no.
This is like is a hot dog a sandwich argument. Is ramen is ramen soup? You think?
I mean, at O-Face, I guess, but I mean, I wouldn't consider. I would expect someone to specify something is. Yeah, ramen is different.
I wouldn't list it under the soup section.
I wouldn't either.
They're
I'm
being
thinking
deceptive.
like maybe they got broccoli cheddar.
Yeah.
Or some sort of.
You were thinking $1 broccoli cheddar.
Well, yeah. I would like your $1 cup of lobster biscuits.
Yes.
Put it in, John.
Yeah, that's what we did last time. We did put footage up onto the screen.
I mean, that was Live Jasmine. That didn't work.
That was Live Jasmine, and to be honest with you, we had stuff up on the screen because we thought we were getting all these warnings
that we didn't have,
and we didn't have enough sexual content, and so we thought we'll put pornography up on the screen. But the truth is,
as far as I can tell, 0 warnings right now on Chatterbait.
As far as I can tell, we're still streaming live. People are chatting with us, interacting. Chatterbait is a free.
I love it. It's
I love everything about Chatterbait, and truthfully, I use it, and that's the truth. I'm saying it not as I've never been a cam guy.
I was a My Free Cams guy. I'm a Chatterbait guy.
I'll be honest. I figured Stefan was because this was his idea.
Yes.
To put the show on a webcam site, so I figured that probably you did.
I have some degree of familiarity,
and I wasn't a cam guy, but I made an account, Dick Lester. That's the name of. I tried to think of the most grotesque name that's the most off-putting, and so it's like molester and dickless together. So it's So I made that as my account so that I could go and test out things, just so I could go look like on my phone to see what it looks like. But then I started seeing some of the other cams, and I was like, well, I'll check that one out. And then I'm like, oh, Gavin. And then I'm like, this is like you're in someone. Like you're looking. You're watching someone in their life. You're in on. It's really, a window. But I'll be honest. I think I'm over it a little bit now. Like because you get a bit too into it maybe, and you're like you start looking at one cam and you start like being like, I wonder what that cam. As soon as I said that, I wonder what this cam person is up to. I was like, I gotta back off.
Well, it's the thing, right? It's like it cascades, right? You know what I mean?
Yes.
You get one, and then you have all the ones on the side being like, if you like this room, you might like this room.
Totally, and you're like, yeah, I might.
Yeah,
You know, that's
it's like
what you're thinking.
it's camception, right? Like you just
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great way to describe it. But it's a wonderful site. Truly, going through it, looking at Live Jasmine cams versus this, I found it's a lot more. This is the people.
Way easier to navigate.
Live Jasmine feels like, as Stefan mentioned, and this may or may not
It's
be true,
corporate.
and I'm saying this at risk of lawsuit, but we believe that it is warehouses filled with cubicles of bedrooms. And they're sitting
And, like,
there,
trafficked
and
women,
they're
and-
trafficked women.
yeah.
No, well, not trafficked because they make sure that they're all legit.
Right.
But we think that it's a more. Oh, we have
A
something.
user did point out earlier in the chat. They said Live Jasmine is very fake. The ChatterTube that's where the real women are. The real men.
Chatterbait.
ChatterBait. Sorry.
Please,
ChatterBait. Sorry.
please.
I apologize.
And you've been great up
Yeah.
until now. You've been the best producer by far, Ryan.
But really dropped the ball there.
But that's okay. You've been so much better than the other producers.
I think
that
Gavin has-
misstep
Wow, I
couldn't
thought it
even.
was-
I
come
think
across.
that's. I think. I mean, remember the note that Todd held up?
Oh, do you remember how Keith Buckley said fire him?
Yeah, but then he didn't say anything about it like afterwards.
Because we didn't bring it up.
I
If we
was
brought it
so
up
busy-
at all,
I think if we brought it up at the end, he would have changed his tune.
guaranteed not.
Penis.
What would he have done?
Really?
Oh, people sending penises.
I was so good after that.
Oh,
I
just-
think you forgot about
You
it.
know exactly, right?
So so Ryan said that's a penis, and then I asked him, "Are people sending penises?" And he said no. So where did you see the penis exactly?
It was on an unrelated. It was on an unrelated tube on an unrelated cam.
I got you.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
still in our chat, and everybody says they would hire me.
They would hire you
Wow.
Yeah.
to do what?
Fucking-
One person.
Everybody says it. Do you see? That is fake news. That is how it. That's how it works. Exactly like that. Everybody is saying this, and then all of a sudden,
But
that's
maybe-
why we have a second producer,
Okay,
Stefan.
no, but-
because we have one fucking liar,
But he's
and
got
then one
the
guy
chat
to
on-
corroborate.
He's got the
Anybody
chat on
else
his
hired?
phone, so it's a smaller
Oh, it's
chat
actually
screen.
2 people, dude. His
That's-
connection's probably behind.
Yeah, that's closer to everybody.
Okay, so
It's 2 people now. I feel we work well as a team.
listen.
I
Don't.
put
I don't.
Gavin
hey,
under the hot seat.
Ryan, I don't like that attitude. Okay, it's you and me versus him and him. Okay.
Like, just
yeah, hit that drop, man.
You're listening to Podcast Rescue, the only bar rescue podcast, hosted exclusively on
Chatterbait.com.
Okay, so that's probably
Like, how often do you
good.
see your neighbors?
I've never met them.
So you're probably gonna meet them after this.
Well, I'm gonna go and talk to them and let them know that this is a thing that I do once a month. Is I do this, and we don't need to go into specifics.
You say you
but
stream. Just say you stream.
I stream.
Don't say.
I stream,
Where?
and it's non-pornographic on our end.
Yeah, I mean, we can't control.
Should I
what
say the
audience-
part on our end?
You say
Should I
it like that. You say it
Should I
like
say
that. Yeah.
on our end.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Yeah. So thanks so much for everyone who watched the live stream. We were on Chatterbait.com, and that's where
It's.
we're at
I mean,
now.
just the improvement over Live Jasmine is.
It's a portmanteau
immeasurable.
between chat and masturbate.
and it lives up to it.
Yes, and that is what they say right in the ad, and it lives up to it. No rules, no archaic Live Jasmine
No, we've
bullshit rules.
streamed all the way through.
All the way through for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
And shout out to everyone who stuck around for the entire stream for both episodes.
You guys are great. We'll
You
get your
guys are
names.
amazing.
We'll
get your
give you some
names.
shout outs.
We'll shout you out. We'll try to find your personal information, like I said, and let people know in your family and stuff that you came on this Chatterbait website and watched our
Bar
our
Rescue
Bar
podcast.
Rescue
Podcast Rescue.
So thank you so much, and that's it for the.
Oh, and thank you to the producers.
The producers. Oh yeah, the best producer, the number one guy, Ryan, my producer.
Well, I mean, it's not a competition. Gavin was one.
It
they're
literally
both
is a
wonderful.
competition.
I mean, we're discussing
trying
this.
to
This is
figure
not
out. We're trying to figure out.
but they were both great.
Hey, we're trying to figure out which one we're going to use. That is a competition.
I mean, I think using both of them
we're leaning towards Ryan.
and the Audience Brothers. of
Oh,
course,
the
were
audience
just-
brothers! Thank you so much for
Unbelievable.
coming out. Wonderful. It makes a difference. You bring in seat fillers, and they'll sit there, but it makes a difference.
Well, you can tell when you've got a real
You can tell.
audience.
And I think they can tell, and I'm glad they've created accounts now, so if they're not able to make it, they can
we can still
come.
get them in the chat. And,
That's wonderful. So thanks so much. Let's play that outro music. We'll play that theme. And thanks to everyone.
We took the name Bar Rescue, then we took out the word bar, then we replaced it with podcast. That's how we came up with our name. It's Podcast Rescue, Podcast Rescue, Podcast Rescue.